Veteran Nollywood actor Tom Njemanze is currently fighting for his life in a hospital bed, worn down by the painful grip of prostate cancer. A video has surfaced capturing a heartbreaking scene. Tom lying weakly with a drip in his arm and an oxygen cylinder beside him, his once vibrant presence now reduced to frail stillness. The video is a far cry from the lively, commanding figure fans remember on screen. But how did it get to this? He was seen last year looking all healthy and happy. What actually happened? Let me remind you to hit the like button to like this video. If you are new here, drop a comment to indicate your presence. Let's get into the gist. Tom Njemanze's story did not begin in a hospital bed. It began in Ovire, Imo State, where he was born and raised. He attended primary and secondary school in the heart of the city before discovering his love for the arts. His acting career began in the early 90s during the Nollywood. Back then, the industry was raw and unstructured, but filled with passion. It was a time when actors worked for the love of the craft more than for the fame or fortune. And in this environment, Tom found his purpose. His talents quickly became apparent. His voice carried authority, his expressions were authentic, and his body language exuded confidence. In a short time, he had carved out a niche for himself. But Tom wasn't only an actor. He was also a gifted highlife and bongo musician. His songs carried the heartbeat of Igbo culture, rich in proverbs, rhythms, and storytelling. Music, film blended seamlessly in his life, each fueling the other. One of the most defining moments of the acting career came with the film Died Wretched, a movie that would immortalize him in Nollywood history. In the film, he portrayed a man who had everything: money, status, and power, but lost it all due to greed and poor choices. The performance was so powerful, so emotionally raw, that it became etched in the minds of viewers. To this day, when people hear his name, Died Wretched is the first film that comes to mind. The irony of the title has not been lost on anyone in light of his current condition. Over the years, Tom appeared in numerous films, leaving a lasting impression each time. His filmography includes notable titles like Brain Box, Pounds and Dollars, Twin Brothers, Magic Cap, and Caesar to Caesar. But beyond the credits and accolades, it was his humanity that stood out. He built genuine relationships within the industry, one of the most cherished being his bond with the late Sam Loco Efe. Their on-screen chemistry was electric. Their banter legendary. Off-screen, they shared laughter, stories, and an unspoken understanding of what it meant to be actors in a challenging industry. As time passed, newer faces emerged in Nollywood. The industry evolved and digital platforms changed how movies were produced and consumed. But Tom remained steady as ever, though not always in the spotlight. Tom's sickness came into focus during one particularly memorable moment. Tom Njemanze's 70th birthday celebration in 2019, held at his residence in Ovire. It was supposed to be a joyful evening, a celebration of a life well lived and a career rich in impact. Colleagues, friends, and fans gathered to honor the man who had brought so many characters to life. But behind the cheers and laughter, there was an air of concern. The night was overshadowed by the thick haze of cigarette smoke. Journalists from Drizzler's News, who covered the event, noted that Tom smoked continuously from evening till dawn. For those who knew him well, it wasn't surprising. Tom had long been known for his chain smoking, so habitual that it was almost part of his on-screen identity. But as medical experts now confirm, smoking is not just a cosmetic vice, it has devastating consequences, especially for men at risk of prostate cancer. Not only does it increase the likelihood of developing a more aggressive cancer, but it also worsens treatment outcomes. Tom's unrelenting habits likely played a role in the severity of his condition today. What was once a lifestyle choice now appears as a tragic contributor to his suffering. That 70th birthday, once seen as a milestone, now feels more like a missed opportunity to change course, a silent alarm that no one answered. Now, as he lies in a hospital, weak and waiting, that legacy feels both heavy and sacred. He gave his life to storytelling, bringing joy, sorrow, and wisdom to millions. And now, in his hour of need, the story has turned. The man who once helped others escape pain through film is now trapped in a painful chapter of his own. The news of Tom's deteriorating health was first shared by actor and producer Stanley Ajemba Chibueze, widely known in the industry as Stanley on Top. His voice trembled with urgency as he announced the gravity of Tom's condition. It wasn't just the cancer itself that was alarming, but the financial burden that came with the treatment. Tom needed urgent surgery and time was running out, with no significant support from Nollywood institutions or the Actors Guild of Nigeria (AGN). Stanley took to social media to rally the public. He shared Tom's account number, pleaded for help, and reminded Nigerians that the same man they had laughed and cried with through their television screens now needed them more than ever. In an emotional throwback, Stanley posted a video from Tom's glory days. There he was, standing tall beside fellow legends like Nkemowo and the late Sam Loco Efe. His voice was strong, his expressions vivid, and his presence magnetic. Watching that video now feels like witnessing a fading flame, an echo of a past that seems so far removed from the present. It made the contrast all the more jarring. That what happened to the man who once embodied power, humor, and wisdom? Some situations reignited conversations about how Nollywood treats its veterans. These were the people who told during the industry's rough beginnings, shooting on low budgets and braving long hours to create stories that shape generations. Now, when they need support the most, many find themselves abandoned, their contributions overlooked. Tom's story is a mirror held up to Nollywood and to society at large. It reflects this neglect, the silence, the uncomfortable truth about how we treat those who once served us. It raises questions that cannot be ignored. Where is the support system for aging actors? Why do we wait until they are on their deathbeds before remembering their worth? And most painfully, how many more must suffer before something changes? Yet amidst the sadness, there is still hope. There are fans who remember. There are colleagues who care. Actress Evans Okoro took to Instagram to share the heartbreaking news, urging followers and colleagues to take action. Prayers began pouring in. Fans expressed their shock and sorrow. The comment sections were flooded with memories of favorite scenes, iconic lines, and the impact Tom had on their lives. But beneath the prayers was also growing frustration that a man who helped build an industry could be left to suffer alone. There is still time, however, fleeting, to rewrite the end of this chapter. If enough hearts are moved, if enough hands reach out, Tom Njemanze might yet rise from that hospital bed. Because beyond the illness, beyond the frailty and the oxygen mask, he is still Tom, still the man who made us feel, who made us laugh, who made us think. And no matter how dark the night, that light, however dim, still deserves to be nurtured. As prayers go up and donations trickle in, all eyes are on the industry, the guild, and the fans. This is not just a fight for one man's life. It is a fight for the soul of an industry, for the dignity of its pioneers, and for the promise that no legend will ever be forgotten. So if you enjoyed the video, quickly hit the subscribe button and like this video, then click on the video showing on the screen to watch the next video. Click it now before this very video ends. See you in the next video.